Many businesses are going through incredible changes and are reorganizing. New leaders are emerging. This is an opportunity for young professionals who are eager to step up and to fast track their career. In today's broadcast, we talk about organizational change, career progression, and the opportunities that are arising for young professionals to transition into leadership positions. With business growth guru Geoff Hirsh, to really look at how we're preparing our leaders, how we're preparing our teams to look at crisis and risk management on a much more of a key focus of an organization rather than just kind of dealing with it after the fact. It's something that I think could be a big thing as well. I mean, a lot of organizations have let people go or stood people down. I think there's going to be a big change management situation come out the other side of this. I think maybe organizations are going to be looking at how they, rather than having multiple teams covering across different sectors within the organization, maybe they will merge, and leaders will need to look at having the skill set to manage a diverse workforce rather than just that line management type role like you mentioned previously. I think the management structure is going to change, and I think we need to be prepared. And as leaders or organizations who are looking at your leadership capability, it's definitely important to kind of think about the other side of this situation. So no, I
think you're touching on an interesting point, and that's probably around emotional intelligence. Because what this situation that we're in at the moment is demonstrating is that emotionally intelligent people are able to understand that the people they are doing business with are under personal stress, they're under business pressure. The way you manage your interaction with those people needs to be particularly sensitive, it needs to be particularly empathetic. You need to be listening carefully and caring for the person that you are interacting with, and not just the deal that you are trying to do with that person, because right now that's not going to be enough to get you over the line. So I think now and for the foreseeable future, our leaders are going to be people with the emotional intelligence and foresight to understand that the interaction is happening with people with real concern, and maybe that's a change for the better. I was talking to a New Zealand-based crisis management consultant earlier this morning, and we were sort of touching on the notion that the sort of very male dominated business ethos that has kind of dictated the way we interact as business people for the last 30 or 40 or 50 years is perhaps moving towards what is traditionally seen as a more female values-based caring situation right now, and that can only be for the betterment of all people in business. And I tend to agree with that. So, that's why I keep coming back to this point that some of what we're going through now will be about short-term change, and some of it will be structural change. And I certainly think that the longer we stay in this environment and the more everyone is forced to be emotionally intelligent about the way they deal with people, particularly as a lot of that interaction is no longer face-to-face, but by email, by phone, by Zoom. The non-verbal behaviour that you can pick up on in a face-to-face environment needs to be replaced with a higher level of sensitivity. So, that's something else that I think emerging leaders will have to find their way to deal with. It can't just be about me, about my career progression, about taking the next step up the ladder. It's going to have to be a more emotionally sensitive view of the world.